Congratulations with this album. It's an absolutely fantastic album, but also congratulations with this single as well. We've been playing No Exit on our show, and people have fallen in love with it.
Oh, awesome, man. That's good to hear, dude. Appreciate it.
So, mate, tell us a little bit about the band. How did you guys get together? Because I understand that you guys all got together in Brisbane in about 2019.
Yeah. That's so the guys, so the other guys have been playing a little bit, kind of back end of 2018, and I knew our drummer Fee, just from around the scene. I've been playing for quite a long time, so I ran into her at Mojo Burning Festival, I believe it was, in 2019. I was working the event, and they came in, and Fee introduced me to Deja, who's our singer, and it kind of just went from there. They asked me to do a jam with them, and I initially didn't do that, and then kind of came around a little later, and yeah, rest is kind of history, man. We've just been rolling from there.
It's such a unique sound that you guys have got. Tell us a little bit about that evolution of sound until you've got what you've got today.
Yeah, man. It's been interesting. It's always been a hard thing to kind of to nail down a genre with us. I think we've all got a lot of different backgrounds musically, so we kind of it's a bit of a give and take. So I guess really a lot of the stuff comes from Pete, our guitarist. He's a really great songwriter. He will come with something, kind of the bones, and then me and him will generally kind of bounce off each other a fair bit, and Deja's just kind of got stacks of lyrics, and Fee just kind of puts it all together with a beat. So I mean, it's been an interesting kind of concoction. It hasn't been very structured, as I've kind of had in previous bands. We'll kind of go in with an idea and kind of really structure it out. Where this has just kind of been a free flowing kind of see what happens, and this kind of has been the result. So
yeah,
I guess it works.
And Deja's got such an amazing voice. That must have blown you away when you first heard that.
Yeah, definitely. It was one of the big things. They sent me a couple tracks, and kind of instantly took with was taken away with that. So figured can't miss this opportunity, so I jumped at it.
Yeah, and you all got together just as the pandemic was kind of starting out. Was that an awful time for you guys, just starting out, trying to make a name for yourself and not being able to get out there and do shows and stuff?
Yeah, look, it was an interesting time. We kind of kicked off pretty hard and tried to really hit the ground running, and then that was definitely a huge roadblock we had to overcome. It was kind of good in some ways. Like it did give us that opportunity to step back and really get stuck into recording. And I mean, I feel this album probably wouldn't be where it is maybe if we had continued with that momentum. So I guess it's kind of a blessing in disguise, but it's still an awful situation. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. For some bands, not being able to get out there and tour has meant that they've taken a real hit to the hip pocket, but at the same time, they've had that opportunity to sit back a little bit and work on new material. Were you guys basically writing throughout the whole lockdown?
More or less. We had a lot of material. I guess the hardest part was we had a lot of material ready, and then we had kind of come out and we were ready to really push it. But we just kind of pivoted, I guess, and just took that next turn and went, okay, well, instead of getting this out like we'd like to and tour and play, let's get stuck in and record it, get it out there. But it's been challenging. It's hard to watch. I mean, there's a lot of friends of mine that are struggling to keep the venue doors open, and a lot of bands that are really losing out, and it's been hard. But I mean, I guess it's been awesome to see the camaraderie of the scene come together when we can do things. There's always a turnout, so
yeah,
it's been cool in that regard.
So tell us a little bit about the recording process with this album. Were you guys able to get into the studio and record it all at once, or did the lockdowns even kind of affect that process as well?
We lucked out a fair bit with that. We had a lot of time booked, and we kind of managed somehow to work around those like specific lockdowns, and we managed to actually get into the studio. So we went and spent. We did our first few singles over the course of a few months, and then we just spent a good, I think it was about 6 days block. We just went straight in to Airlock Studios, and we just pretty much locked down in there and got stuck into it. So that was kind of good.
Yeah, and was there any themes or anything that you guys wanted to achieve with this album? Like when you first sat down to talk about it, was there something that you wanted from this album?
Yeah, definitely. There was Deja and Fear have always been a very big driving force in the themes of the album. Deja in particular, with kind of her lyrics are very visceral. But yeah, the idea of the album really was to just put something out that kind of helps us all be connected, and is that interconnectedness of us as humans, as in the industry, and I guess that was kind of one of the rolling themes. Was just really that interconnectedness, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot to it. But yeah, I mean, at the end of it, we tried really hard to kind of make sure everything was marrying our initial goal, and even when it came down to artwork and things like that, we always wanted that one specific target, and it seems to have worked well for us so far, so I think we'll just continue.
Yeah, and I understand No Exit was about that connection as well, but also desperation as well. Tell us a little bit about that track, because so many people have fallen in love with it and are requesting it now on our show.
Awesome. Yeah, that absolutely, exactly what you said. It was a song that we had, or Deja had, when I first joined. We always kind of had it in the back burner, and we'd never played it live or anything until we actually debuted it. And it was just one of those songs that we knew we'd get to, but we were never ready to kind of put the timing never seemed right. So we actually took that song to the studio with just a basic skeleton. So Deja had her all the lyrics written out and a basic guitar riff, and me and Pete just went and we sat one day in the studio and kind of just noodled around until we came up with what it is, and we pretty much just sat down and recorded it, and that was it. So, and then it all just kind of came together, and then just during the mixing process, we was kind of realizing that this was pretty special. So it was pretty cool to see how well it's gone now, knowing that we just kind of went in and just crossed everything and hoped it turned out good, because we had that time booked and we weren't getting it back either way. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so that was really, really cool. And we just sat down, me and Pete, and recorded it completely acoustic, just with 2 acoustic guitars, which is a bit of a change for us in our other heavier kind of take on things. So
yeah. Well,
it was pretty cool.
Well, it sounds absolutely amazing, and I guess the big question now is, if people have fallen in love with that track, how can they support you guys at the moment, especially with everything we're going through? I know you've got merch packs and pre-orders available. Where can people go to grab some of those packs and also to pre-order the album?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we haven't got pre-order albums just yet. We're working on that, but we'll have that up soon. Most of our stuff we run through Bandcamp for sales and stuff, and then you can kind of find us on any streaming platform, Facebook, all the basic kind of avenues. But best way you can support us, or support any of the local bands at the moment, is merch. Honestly, at the moment we got some merch on our Bandcamp. That'd be great if jump on, grab a shirt. And I've got to say that for everybody at the moment. I mean, merch is really the lifeblood of the local scene. We don't really spend a lot of money in playing shows and things like that. Even getting albums out, it's merch is where it's at, and going to shows.
Definitely, yeah. And
yeah.
And you've got some shows coming up as well, which, fingers crossed, go ahead with everything that's going on at the moment. But you guys must be excited about heading out there and getting to play these tracks live.
Absolutely stoked, man. I'm just crossing everything again, hoping that it all kind of comes together with everything that's been happening. But we've got a lot on the horizon. We're playing the little Aftermath Festival at the end of the year. We've got a few other shows lined up around the place. We do have a show down in Lismore we're going to try and get to, but who knows what's going to happen there.
Exactly.
But again, we'll just cross our fingers and see what happens. We got another big one on the way. I don't know if I can talk about it yet, but there's another one. So there's some cool stuff on the horizon. Just COVID permitting, it should be a really cracker back end of the year with any luck.
Awesome. Well, mate, we're going to play No Exit again on the show right now. So is there anything you'd like to say to our listeners out there before they take another listen to this track?
Oh, man, just get out there when you can. If there's an opportunity to get out there and support your locals, go do it. They need it more than anything right now. So even if it's just buying a beer, go help them out.
Awesome. Well, mate, thank you so much for joining us